Hey guys, we're here just for a little quick addendum to the last video where we were talking about the kind of preparation and the organization of the SNK World Championships. I just wanted to add something because I didn't notice that in fact there is no application for the SNK World Championships. So some events have been perhaps overlooked or don't look like they're going to be involved. For example, Treta in Brazil has kind of shouting out on Twitter that they should be considered, and I think this is definitely something SNK needs to consider because Treta has been running for a few years and it's quite a major tournament. Also, there's Game Celebration in Mexico. I'm sure you all can agree that the South America, Central America, LATAM community are one of the biggest fans next to Asia for SNK. So to not have an event as part of the World Championships would be not very good. But we don't know the final selection of all the qualifying spots. But just to go back to talking about why these choices have been made, I don't know for sure, but these are just my kind of guesses based on experience and general kind of common sense. Just want you to kind of, I think a lot of people need to put themselves in the shoes of SNK. Now, if I asked you, which events should we put in the keep saying World Tour, sorry, in the World Championship, how would you find these events? Do you know about all the events in your country? Maybe you do, but do you know about all the events in the whole world? Some of us do, maybe some of us who have a full-time job do not. Some of the tournament organizers who have already worked with SNK, of course, it's easier then for them to say, oh yeah, we've got this person in this country, this country, this country. But for some of them who have never applied for support, well, that's not really good, is it? But that kind of explains why, and it's not really, it's not really fair to blame SNK for not knowing about this particular event in this country because they never talked to each other or they never actually saw and saw the event or whatever. So it's a bit tricky in this case because SNK didn't give you an application form on the website. They just go, right, the World Championship is coming, and then a few months later they just posted, okay, here is the lineup so far, and they've posted 3 events. Now, of course, if you were well connected with SNK and if you saw all the information and you saw all the announcements, and this has been announced quite a long time ago, you might have been smart in putting your foot in the door and asking to be put on the qualifying list. If you only found out, 5 days before the announcement, then that's going to be a problem, isn't it? And this is why I'm trying to explain that, there's going to be people upset, but there's not so much magic you can do. Imagine that you're working at SNK and you go, right, I need this list of events and stuff, and you're dealing with a whole lot of other things as well. And like, okay, I've got to pick this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and again, it's like, well, if you don't know about an event and you put notices out there, and you've got a tournament organizer in somewhere else in the middle of somewhere in the world who just like doesn't see the Facebook post, doesn't see the tweet, and is doing their own thing. Who's to blame for this, right? Who's to blame? If you don't keep up to date with stuff, then you miss out. And if you don't speak the English language or the Japanese language or the Chinese language, then yeah, who's to blame? It's not really your fault, but that's what's happened. And I think at the end of the day, now is definitely the time, if you're a tournament organizer, to really just get onto the esports support webpage of SNK and contact them and let them know who you are. And if you're doing little events and you're only getting 5 people to turn up, yeah, that's not really going to qualify for a world championship spot. But you got to keep building, and then eventually, when you get that 16 player spot attendance, then you should definitely get straight in there to SNK and say, please, can I help some support for my tournament? Thank you very much. And SNK usually will be very happy to support you. And as you build your stuff, you keep contacting and talking to SNK, and of course, they'd be like, oh yeah, I know this guy, he does whatever, they do events in whatever country, and then they can consider you for the World Championships. So unfortunately, as I said, I think some tournament organizers were out of the loop, didn't know about the tour. Suddenly now they know about the tour. It's a bit late, but I think they should still apply. I think they should put their card on the table, get introduced to SNK, because who knows, we could have another World Championships for King of Fighters 15, the next Samurai Showdown, whatever, blah blah blah, and we can keep building up these spots and qualifying things. And remember that the qualifying spot is basically a free ticket to Japan or wherever the finals are. It's amazing. It's like the event doesn't have to pay anything. It's just they get a flight, get accommodation, see you later. Whew! It's pretty amazing, and it's going to be a shame that we can't have every single event as part of the World Tour, but time frames and stuff, it is what it is. We some events are not within that time frame. The finals are in March 2020. If your event is not inside this, then that's it. So yeah, we can say it's not enough that SNK hasn't contacted every single event in the world, but sometimes it's got to be kind of two-way thing. You got to pay attention to SNK's Facebook and Twitter feeds and try to get in contact. Some people have gone in contact and they didn't really get chosen for the spot. Well, as I said, it's 16 spots. SNK has to make some choices. They can't put everyone in there, but at least you've made yourself known, and I think that's very important. But we'll see what happens with the choices, and I'm sure not everyone's gonna be happy with the choices, and but hopefully we'll see something for South. We do have, of course, Costa Rica and Central America. That's going to be awesome, and but we do want to see some more events, or at least one qualifying event for Latin America. We've got Europe coming up in like literally like 2 weeks, 1 week, I don't know. It's going to be absolutely madness. 2 weeks I think from now. USA has got one. We got one in Canada, and that's an interesting one because listening to feedback, their last event for the Neo Geo World Tour was not very good at all. Badly run. So we're kind of wondering why. But, and this is one of the things that's going to upset people, is that arguably, now again, put yourself in SNK shoes, right? Let's say you have a small tournament. Let's say it's good. SNK hardcore fans, right? Good event, cool. Happy, everybody's happy with it, it's wonderful. And then you've got a kind of multi-game event where let's say the SNK players are not treated very well, but you've got a huge amount of people turning up for other games. So theoretically you get exposure for the World Tour. Other people who are playing other games will come over to play it, but the trade-off is maybe the player and the actual qualifying spot isn't treated as well as the other games. Which one is better for the game? Not for the players. Which one is better for the game and the scene in the long run? yeah, you wouldn't like my answer. Okay. But that's not my choice to make. And if SNK wants to, be cool with the fans, they either have to, make people understand that, or just look after the events that look after SNK players. Yeah, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. So, enough of my rambling. Oh wow, I've already done 10 minutes. So, as I said, we've posted up the SNK fan results, and I now have a link to the SNK World Championships from Rochinagi. You can always find it, so you don't get lost. And again, if you're a tournament organizer, the most important thing is to get in contact with SNK and make sure you don't miss out on the news. All right. Good luck to everyone for the World Championship for 2019-2020. It's going to be crazy regardless, and I hope to see everyone at least on the stream watching stuff, and it's going to be a great grand finals. I look forward to it. I hope you do too. We'll see you on the next one. So, it's all very... What's that? So, recording is absolute nonsense. What the fuck now?